Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Walking Life's Journey podcast. For those that are joining us for the very first time, I am one of your hosts, Nikkita White. I'm joined by some amazing people that mean so much in my life. Starting to the left, who do I have?
Jasmine, her niece. Hey, y'all.
Okay. And Keyondra here, as always.
Yes.
She hadn't even asked you yet.
I didn't introduce myself.
That's right. Do it.
And y'all know who I am. I'm the husband.
He is the mister of my life.
He's just the husband.
I'm the husband.
Well, we are so excited to bring Jasmine into this episode. We've been talking about this being Love Month, and we wanted to kind of hear from the young ones because what we recognize, Mr. and I have been out of the dating game for a long time. Now, don't get it wrong.
About 2-3 years.
Well, I'm about to say, don't get it twisted. We still date, but we date one another.
Oh.
But far as you having to go out there and holler at a young lady or I got to get hit on, that's done. If I ain't being hit on by you, it ain't happening anymore.
Amen.
But before we dive too deep, right?
Okay.
Let's make sure that you guys know you can always catch us on Mondays, weekly. Please make sure you subscribe and share. We're on Podbean, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, and we're on TuneIn. If you need that daily dose of motivation, hit us up on our Facebook group, Walking Life's Journey, and you will get a daily dose of some motivation to get you through your 24 hours, as well as you can see us live. We can ask questions. You tell us what you want to see more of. Okay?
Got it.
Okay.
Now, it's February. Some say it's Love Month.
Love Month.
It's a great month. It is also Black History Month.
That's right.
But right now, we're going to keep touching on love. And when we're talking about love this go round, what we understand is the 90s dating looked totally different for this 2000 generation, right?
For sure.
And we know back in the day, we could easily go to the mall, Military Circle, Lynn Haven. We could go to the mall, and most likely if you walk from one end to the mall to the other side, you're going to get a couple phone numbers. Most likely, right? That doesn't, and we're trying to see how that compared to what you all have to go through now. What we also recognize is there's a lot of social media. So we want you guys to talk to us about how social media plays a part in this dating world. And not only do you all have social media, you have more access to people. Yeah. You also have dating sites. We didn't have those things.
Well, no. Well,
I didn't know anything about a dating site back then.
They were just growing back then.
Okay.
Late 90s going into the 2000s is when they really started to grow. Well, when the internet really started to blow up as far as
we had dial-up, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So you either was gonna chat with somebody, you wasn't, depending on if your line was strong. But so we had it, but we had it nowhere near as abundant as they have it now.
Yeah.
You know, like she mentioned earlier, access is crazy right now. The crap that y'all see, the crap that y'all get exposed to.
Right,
so we trying to see how it is for y'all.
How is it? So let's start there. There's so much we want to talk about with this dating, because for me, I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious because truthfully, I have two beautiful young ladies that are living in our households and they choose to be single. And so I want to hear a little bit more about what dating looks like for them, because tomorrow is Valentine's Day. And some people are going to be down, like, oh, I don't have a mate to do anything. And some people are going to be like, shoot, party for one. What am I getting myself? What am I doing? So everybody can be at like two different extremes. So y'all know what? Let's check in. So, Keyondra and Jazz, let's talk about this social media. And I always hear the term, and I don't snoop, but I do like to see a good phone every once in a while. And so people slide into your DMs. Tell me more what sliding in your DMs really look like. What's happening? Who wants to go first? Go ahead, Chef.
So you don't.
No, we don't. That's why we ask.
I know. Nobody slide in my DMs.
You post a cute picture. Of course,
Okay.
you get the comments are like, "Ooh, gorgeous, cute, amazing." But then you also get those DM messages like, "Girl, you look good," or something like that. They always
Girl,
want to
you look
comment
good.
you.
Okay. So they slide in your DMs and it's a girl, you look good. So then you make the decision if you want to keep chatting or if you're just going, you're bad at it. You just keep it as unread.
Me,
put you out
honestly,
there.
I keep it on. Like, I'll look at it, but more than likely, I forget to respond to my DMs, honestly.
Just that busy, huh?
But right here, she gets more
So
DMs.
she gets all the
She
DMs.
gets more DMs.
Oh, okay. So this is why Jazz is joining us because you get all the folks sliding to your DMs.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us who been sliding in your DMs, what that look like.
Maybe not who.
Hey. Well, tell me what that looks like sliding into your DMs. Because you are a social media person. Like you're posting almost every day.
Yeah, so for me, it's like I don't really more so like post on my social media. I really like more so post on my story.
Okay.
And I really get like a lot of replies and like, dang, you look good or this or that. But I feel like a lot of guys nowadays are like really corny and they don't know how to like approach a woman correctly.
Okay.
And it just comes off as corny and immature.
Okay, so we're not gonna call the guys corny, but what we are gonna do is we're gonna talk a little bit about that because the approach, and we've had this conversation before in our house. We now live on the West Coast. We originally were from the East Coast. Jazz been with us now on the West Coast for about 2 years. Keyondra moved to the West Coast when she was in middle school. Behind the scenes, we also have. You know, she liked to be in the back. She's also West Coast, East Coast. And we've had these conversations about how folks on the East Coast and down South, when it comes to guys, there's a type of boldness that they come up. They're going to let you know they're interested in you. You're going to know that they're interested in you. And now on the West Coast, sometimes like you could be in the same environment, but they won't say anything to you at that moment, but they'll find you and DM you and get in your DMs later. Keyondra, can you tell me more about that? Because I know you've been to college. You talked about like small town. Tell me more about what that looks like. Because Jazz done called them corny, y'all. Y'all ain't corny. Y'all just come from a different place. So we want to know, is there truthfully a difference between East Coast, West Coast, or is there guys? Is it just the guys?
It could be just the guys. But no, since I went to school in Washington, so I went to like a lot of different places there. And when I would go out, since it's college, there's people there from everywhere, really. And the people I found that would often approach me weren't from the West Coast. They were from the South or the East Coast. And then I even had this guy who was actually from the West Coast. He DM'd me later like, "Oh, I saw you last night," or "I saw you that one night and you look good and I just want to talk to you more." And I didn't talk to him because I did. But the first thing I asked him was like, "Why didn't you approach me there?" And he was just like, "You just seemed intimidating. I was just nervous." Or sometimes be like, "You just look too good," which is just the cop-out answer to me. But yeah.
Intimidating. Let's take that word. Let's throw it to your dad over there for a second. Do women, and it's, you know, sometimes do we look like we're intimidating, which is the reason why we don't get approached? I mean, because you guys, if you've been with us on this journey, you already know the story about our household. I approached him. I am a person that I know what I want, and when I want it, I'm going to go after it. I'm doing better now, so but I did approach him. Where did I approach you at?
It was in Miss King's class. I was trying to learn. I don't want to go through it again.
He was just trying to learn.
He was just trying to learn, and he caught my eye. And Keyondra just said, guys are telling her that she looked intimidating. So I wasn't intimidating. I just let him know, put up all my cards on the table. I like what I see.
Well, I'll say this. I can't answer for all guys because depending on your background, depending on how you, just your environment, period, will dictate the type of person that you are. a lot of guys, they aren't intimidated by women. Some guys that everybody's not on the same comfort level as far as approaching people. I know for me, when I used to see a beautiful woman, I'm like, she probably already got somebody. So that's one of the reasons why I never really spoke up or anything like that.
Gotcha.
But as far as intimidation, I'll say this: the women that are my friends now that I befriended and I'm cool with, I never thought, because I was always quiet, always kept to myself. I never thought that I would be friends with that type of female. Come to find out, all y'all goofy. goofy. Yeah. Every last one of y'all. So the older I got, the more I found out there's no reason to be intimidated by anyone. And most of the women that you find intimidating, they don't have nobody holler at them for that same reason. They already think, you know what I'm saying?
They think they're intimidated.
People already got preconceived notions about, they probably got somebody, whatever the case may be, and they sitting at home lonely.
Yeah.
So
I got you. I just got to always get that male perspective because, we want to know.
It's about, having that confidence and things like that. Some guys just, if they haven't been exposed to a lot, they're not going to be confident enough to approach a female. Now, I guess it's easier now for them to shoot a message or something like that because you still ain't face to face. Until they get that strike up a conversation and then get to rolling with that. But it's depending on where you from.
Okay. I like that. So Jazz, Keyondra just gave us just a little bit from being in school on the West Coast. Now, you new to the West Coast. You have been on the East Coast almost all your life. Now you're on the West Coast, but compare what your East Coast dating looked like to your West Coast dating or just male friends in general.
I feel like on the East Coast, I get approached more like they don't care. They come up to you. They're not scared. And then I came over here and I just feel like they'll look at you, but they won't approach you. And I feel like it's what Uncle was saying, like lack of confidence or just already thinking I got somebody because of course I'm beautiful, but
either that or somebody looking like they got an attitude.
It could be.
We can look like that sometimes. Our faces, and I don't even think we notice it all the time. I think sometimes you just in thought or
or like you have tunnel vision or you focus on something like in a store. Right. Like when I'm on the East Coast, you can be in the store, it don't matter, with your mama, your grandma,
exactly,
anybody,
and they're gonna approach you. They do not care. And I feel like on the West Coast, it's just like they'll look at you and be like, "Oh, maybe I catch her again," and then they catch you again, and then maybe I'll catch her again, and then they'll catch you again.
Or sometimes they be just like expecting you to approach them.
I feel like sometimes on the West Coast, I feel like I've approached more people than I've got approached. Because I feel like guys are very scared. It doesn't even have to be like a relationship or anything serious, just even like friendship, because where we at, we lack diversity.
Yeah.
So it's like if I see a brother or a sister, I'm like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to approach more than on the West Coast, on the East Coast.
On the East Coast. Yeah. That is right. And you're right. Sometimes it may not even be East Coast, West Coast difference. It could just be where we are at this moment. Yeah. We do lack diversity. It's getting better the years that we've been here, but it is definitely different. Yeah, it is. Yeah. We talk about social media. You hear Keyondra say that when she goes, because she's definitely lived on the West Coast for about 10, 11 years, but she still goes on the East Coast to be with their grandparents. And so when she say they will approach you no matter who you with, right now, I think her grandma is using text message and social media to try to hook her up because there's a young man to say, I'll come to Idaho. So it is, you guys, your access is totally different these days. So what happens when you're now in your DMs and someone is communicating from Georgia? Are y'all ever going to connect? What does that look like? Because I know behind the camera, she is always talking about catfish. You're a catfish. You a catfish. what does that catfish look like? Because you don't know who you're talking to unless you guys really FaceTime or do you know? Like, let's talk about, how do you know you're not being catfished?
Well, I feel like, coming from my perspective, I've never got catfish.
Me neither.
Only because, like, I feel like we have these phones nowadays, like, you know what I'm saying? Technology is something else. And we have FaceTime. If you can't simply FaceTime me, you're done. That's how I feel. Because at that point, you're a catfish. And I cannot see your face. And I feel like if it's distance and I seen you, okay, cool. Like, that's better. We can meet up sometime down the line.
Okay.
But if I can't FaceTime you or video call you, you're a catfish.
Okay.
And that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Because it's simple. Like, just show your little face real quick. Even if you looking bad, just show your face. But if you gonna sit here and make an excuse every time I ask to video call or FaceTime, okay, yeah, it's giving catfish.
So y'all ain't never been catfish?
No.
No, I have never been catfish.
No.
Okay, so if y'all start meeting someone, if y'all meet someone through your DMs, then you are requiring a FaceTime call or some type of video.
Within 2 minutes.
No.
You better stop being fast. You better stop being fast. 2 minutes.
You want to make sure that they're even someone you want to FaceTime. So maybe text back and forth. A few days.
Yeah.
But not more than a week. Within a week, we need to have one FaceTime.
Yeah.
And
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, now I gotta call her from behind. I gotta hear her voice on this.
Yeah, because her face been screwed up the whole episode.
Yeah, so let me hear your take on catfish, because you are quick to say someone is a catfish. Let me just hear your voice. Let me hear you.
100% of the time, I'm right when they are catfish. And technically, you did get catfish if they did not show a video.
Technically, but
Technically,
I ain't
what?
been catfish.
If you said like if they don't show you a video, then you just cut it off. You could have been catfish because I didn't want to show you that.
But you ain't getting that much
interview.
conversation within a week. You understand what I'm saying? Like, within a week, you should not be getting that much conversation. Within a week, after about 3-4 days, I need a video call, and maybe we can pursue a little bit further after that video call.
But if you don't
don't get that call, you done.
But honestly, you can sometimes tell before, like even before messaging them. If you look at their profiles or anything, you can.
If the followers ain't matching up to the pictures, it just ain't adding. The math ain't mathing.
If the dates on the pictures aren't adding up, sometimes they'll be all posted
within 2 minutes. You got 18 pictures.
Somebody ain't doing their research.
So for me, it's not a game, but I already know they're a catfish because they be like, dear, and then
the words,
and then they're like, I'm in the military. I am a engineer. Those are the key words.
The key words. So you know the key words of a catfish. I hear you.
Profiles.
I hear you.
But I just like to entertain it to see how far they
Okay,
take
so
it.
you know they're catfish, but you just entertain it.
I do.
Okay, so you're just playing games. Okay.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times where the man like called and I say, "Yo, this is catfish."
Yeah.
She got some time.
So she just wasted some time.
She just wasted time.
That's not looking for a date with that person. She just entertaining
Herself.
Yeah.
And they be the same age as my son from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Want me to adopt him?
Be they sugar mama. Okay. So dating. I started this and I said y'all choose to be single. What are you looking for, or what is it? Because y'all may not be looking. What do you want in a relationship when it's time, and how do you know that that's the person you want to be in a relationship with? Because y'all haven't been single all your life. You're just choosing that at this moment. So let's talk about that.
For me, I think I won't even say this generation. I feel like
this your generation.
Okay, let's say this generation.
This is your generation.
Okay, so this generation and like social media, I feel like it killed it for like a lot of stuff. Like a lot of people base social media relationships and real relationships, and they think their relationship should be like this. They just compare. It's so much comparison.
Okay.
And it's just so many standards that they see on social media that they think a female should have, or this or that. and I just feel like it just doesn't add up. So for me,
So what you looking
I just
for?
want
What you want in a relationship?
I don't know. I want honesty. I want communication.
Okay.
I want accountability. I want
Some big words.
I want
Accountability, communication. Okay.
I want for me and my person to choose each other every time, and not a quick argument, you go choose somebody else, or like a quick disagreement, you go choose somebody else. I just want someone mature and know what they want.
Sound like she been getting some good teaching.
Amen. Nikkita.
Exactly.
From a few folks. I like
Lorenzo.
it. I like it.
For me, I do feel like social media does put people's standards in a weird place, like you said, because people always they will compare you, or like people they see on the everyday, to people they see on social media, and they're like, I want what this, and they don't. It's always like a comparison game. But for myself, I do want all that. Of course, trust, all the key things. I want a partnership, someone to grow with, but I really want someone to have fun with, be goofy with, travel with, like really just a partner to have fun with.
Basically like your best friend. It's not like always serious. Like let's just have fun and let's just vibe. And let's just let's just grow and see where it takes us. Not like, oh, let's rush and do this and do that, you know?
What you think about this? Because she said this generation. So this generation in dating, social media, online dating, sliding into your DMs. Do y'all still even get approached just being at the Walmart? Do you get approached, or is it really all through social media?
Well,
I have actually got approached in Walmart recently, and I don't know. Even though I say like it would be nice to get approached in person, when I'm at Walmart, don't approach me because
that's the number one store we got.
That's all we got.
But like it's just so awkward because I'm just in there trying to get out, and you're stopping me, and maybe I just wasn't interested in the person, and that's the true reason. But though it was just weird.
For me, I feel like it's different because I've worked in retail and I've had a lot of jobs.
Yes, a lot.
So, I get approached quite often, but I mean, I feel like it doesn't bother me. I feel like I'll say like, okay, yeah, like here's my number, but I just don't reply.
Yeah, I do that, but then like you said, I don't reply.
Because I don't know, it just feels weird.
I don't want to be like, no,
I don't
get
know.
away.
Yeah.
No.
So, really?
Give him the real number?
I'll give him my
Yeah.
number.
I'll give him my number, but I mean,
Do you block them later?
no,
Yeah.
she's
So
quite
we got one yes, we got one no.
Oh wow!
I just don't reply. I'll let the messages add up so it can be in my notification, but
No, I block it.
she
after.
blocks them. She's quite mean.
But do you even give your number to someone you don't want them to have?
I mean,
if you're not interested, why do you give your number?
Because
Guys take rejection pretty hard. They're like, oh, dang, she just rejected me. And it's just like, I wasn't trying to be mean. You're just not it.
Now I will speak on that. That has not changed from this generation or our generation, because I can recall you're walking somewhere and you get the school and you don't respond, and now you're being called out of your name that my mama didn't name me that. So I think that again that happens. So you take the number anyway, or give the number out.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because at one point you said, not during this conversation, but you said, wow, that's not who I would have wanted to give my number to anyway, for somebody that does that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
either they gonna take it or they ain't. Either they gonna take the rejection, they ain't. And the real character gonna show through that rejection.
That's right.
But I got a question since y'all brought it up. Well, y'all ain't bring it up, but y'all made a comment and about don't approach me in Walmart.
I said that.
Yeah, you
She
said
be
it.
on a mission. in
Yeah, I know.
Walmart.
But
Exactly.
so that makes me wonder, when is a good time to approach?
That's good.
Just not.
Because according to y'all, it's gonna be never. Don't catch me at Walmart. Don't catch me when I'm in the gym working out. Don't.
Y'all, it's Keyondra.
It's me. But like, approach me when
She don't know.
I'm
Approach her in the
at a
parking lot.
restaurant. Approach me.
Approach you
when
while
I'm
you eating,
going
while you trying to
out.
enjoy yourself.
Okay, just not like Okay, I guess. The
Yeah.
grocery store. I don't know. The gym, though, I'm trying to be focused. And you
I'm
just
saying
messed
that's
with
when
it.
I see you, and that's when I'm interested.
Would you prefer for someone to approach you at Walmart or the club? Because the same way you get a person at the club, same way you can lose them. So
Are y'all at the
Is
club?
the club?
Y'all in the club?
I mean,
I was.
we was in the club at school.
Back in the day.
Back in the
my olden days. Back in my school days.
No. I think honestly, being approached, I think every woman, a female, likes to be approached. It depends on by who, because women have these checklists, and if you don't get all these things on their list, so really move things out of the way and just be ready for who comes in your life, and you decide if that's somebody you want to entertain or someone you don't want to entertain. But there are times that I get you. When you're in Walmart, sometimes you're like, don't talk to me. I'm in here in 2 minutes to go get my stuff, and I need to be out.
And honestly, it's probably just here, because we're in a small town. I don't want to talk to no one in here. So, don't approach me in Walmart.
Oh, wow.
Unless, maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just how. Because I have been approached and they won't leave, like, my aisle. Like, they'll just keep talking. Then I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. And I'm trying to, like, okay, end of the conversation. And they're still there, like, oh, what you doing? You good? Can I get a ride home? Like, stuff like that.
No, she did that.
So,
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's how it's done.
I understand.
Yeah, and that's the key word right there. I'm glad you landed there. Like, we are really just joking and laughing over this, but the fact is, how you are approached makes a true difference in what your response will be. Yeah. We bring laughter to it because truthfully, it happens, and sometimes rejection hits and you are called outside your name. And so it makes you like, well, dang, I'm glad I'm not dating, or I'm glad I'm not giving you my phone number. But then there's times where it's easier. I think that's where it's easier to slide in your DMs and message you, because if you respond, then they give that as an opportunity more to keep talking. Yeah. Maybe? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Well, I used to hear back in the day when you were at the mall and you were walking, if the guy smiled at you, you smiled back, and then you look back, that lets him know, okay, come talk to me. I mean, is that how it was for y'all?
The eye contact thing?
Yeah.
I don't know, because Miss King class. So
I scooped him
early.
up.
Did you give her eye contact?
Early.
Did you give her eye
No,
contact?
I was looking down at my books.
Oh. So he didn't give you the
He
look.
got distracted.
No, I was looking down at my books, and
I'm gonna let
my
him tell
partners
the
that
story
was
how
sitting
he going to.
behind me, they tapped me, hey man, she wanna holler at you. I said, no man, I gotta get this work done.
Okay.
You did not say that.
Yeah, you gotta love him. You gotta love him. He can tell the story however he remembers it. The fact is, that was when I was 14 years old, and we still together at 40-something years old.
Or something.
How many years?
Woo! That
It'd
means
be 30 years this year?
Ooh, standing strong.
30.
I'm trying to be like y'all. When I
and
grow
we
up.
still date. Continue to date. I don't care how long you've been together. We still gonna date. Mm-hmm. So it's Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and I don't need to be out at a restaurant, but we will be celebrating at home. Ladies, what y'all looking forward to for Valentine's Day? What y'all gonna do?
Sitting down
looking
somewhere?
forward for some self-care, some self-loving on myself.
All right.
Self-care.
All right.
Yeah, I think I was going to say the same thing. Some self-care, a little
right.
spa day, face mask.
All right. Sit down
Treat
somewhere.
myself, eat my
A little
chocolate.
glass of cider.
I heard her sitting down somewhere
Yeah, sitting down in the house, right?
by yourself.
Amen. Me and my cousin, we together.
All
We
right.
a family up in here.
Exactly.
We will all be here 1, 2, 3, 4 because you don't like to celebrate on Valentine's Day. Let's put that out there.
That is right. So babes, I guess you're taking care of all the ladies in the house, you and Kari.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it greatly.
Keisha, you can come over too.
Yeah.
Oh God. But no, seriously, dating is just a topic that we wanted to talk about. Wanted the young ones at the table to talk about what that dating life is like. Go ahead.
Question. So, of course, you guys are younger, but you hear stories, older stories as far as how things used to be. Is there anything back then that we did that interests you guys now versus the stuff y'all have to deal with in y'all's world today?
Like the movies, like
anything that you heard. We did do a lot of movies. Oh, you mean what you see in the movie?
No, from whatever
what you see in the movie.
Whatever your mind gets you thinking about, how stuff used to be, whether it been a movie or.
I think.
Jazz got an answer. I want to hear this.
I think when, like, Auntie had told me how y'all didn't have social media, and like you would literally walk, and y'all would like walk to see each other without communication, and y'all would just have certain times.
Yeah.
I feel like who would actually walk to come see me, and especially that far, because Booker T to River Oaks. That's pushing me. I'm not lying. So I'm like, who would walk from Booker T to River Oaks to come see little old me?
You told her that lie.
Don't do me like
that. No, I actually do like that fact that because with us, you can get tired of someone so quick because you're able to talk to them 24/7. You can be on FaceTime 24/7. But back then it was like, oh, you can only see me during this time. You can only call me during this time. Like,
oh yeah.
We
had limits. We had our stuff was monitored.
Yeah.
You on that phone at a certain time, past a certain time. Somebody else picking up the phone line and listen to your conversation.
Mama was good. Nikkita, time to get off the phone now.
Lord.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Lord.
Yes, ma'am.
I remember that.
Nikkita, and it was a whole name. Normally she calls me Kita, but it would be Nikkita, time to get off the phone now.
Oh yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I remember that.
Okay, I have to talk to you later.
Yeah.
And I just think about like how the phones back in the day, you had to remember like the numbers. Like, I feel like that's what made it easier for them to stick to one person, because you ain't about to remember all these numbers.
No. And she trying to say we were only dating one person because we couldn't remember.
But you gotta be like intentional.
You
gotta remember it.
Yeah.
Or at least keep the note that y'all wrote it on.
Keep the note and keep like a paper full of numbers. Like,
you're right.
Now you can have so many phones numbers in your phone, you don't even know who it is. Who's this? I don't know.
Who this? Who this? Yeah.
Well, I got a question for y'all then. Like,
hang on to that one, but you answer that question as well.
Oh.
What is there anything from back then, back in our days, or even your grandparents' days, that you guys like, man, that's pretty cool right there?
I like, I don't know. I just like the stories how they'd be like, grandma would be like, I seen him on the dance floor. He was doing his moves. And you're like, hey, girl. It's just his.
They're talking about your mama. You and Mike. Mike was always on that dance floor.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just the way, I don't know. I guess meeting a person was more not genuine. It's just an all the time thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just how
the
you
interaction, how you met. You actually had a story more than just Instagram or what's a dating thing. You know, it was actually a story like, oh, it was a Friday night and I was going out with my girls and like something like that, like a whole story.
Yeah. Not just he slid in my DM.
Yeah.
And that's how I met your dad. It's more to it. So
I love it.
All right, so my bad. I ain't mean to cut you off. What's the question?
Is there anything like, I know the dating world now is kind of crazy, but is there anything that we have now that y'all wish y'all would have had?
Again, I didn't do a lot of dating. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie either. I definitely had some friends throughout my time before your dad and I got married. But we didn't do a lot of dating. So, if anything, what I do love about social media and what it adds to, this is what I still love about social media, pictures and things. Like there's a collage that you're going to always have. Now, we were talking about this just the other day. We wrote a lot of letters. So that's how we kept things going when your dad was deployed or things like that. We wrote a lot of letters. But social media just makes things convenient.
Yeah.
It makes it very convenient right now. Back in the day when he first went in the military, there was only certain times that I could get a call from
Morale
him.
calls, yeah.
And if I didn't have a call, then I would make sure, like clockwork, every 2 weeks he was receiving a letter. And if for some reason a letter didn't go out, it was something quick, a card or something, just in case I got busy in school. But I like the convenience of social media. I really do. There's good things that come from social media. Of course, there's a lot of bad that can come depending on how you use it, but I like that convenience. Yeah.
And for myself, I like I do like the access that you guys have to be able to look into somebody's background, look into their pictures and see how they interact, see the type of stuff they post. If it's, line up with what you feeling or what it ain't, before y'all actually had those interactions, whether it be a first text message or a DM or whatever it may be. I like the access that y'all have. Y'all ain't got no excuse not to do a background check on somebody. No
Background
excuses.
Good. And I mean, we having this conversation about dating with two young ladies that are really opposite in their own lives. Keyondra don't really go many places. She really likes to be in the house.
I'm retired.
She retired, but she likes to be in the house. Jazz is a work. She told y'all she had a lot of jobs. She literally has had a lot of jobs. So she is always running from a job, always out, social butterfly. So dating, looks totally different for both of them. But though, I think that piece where you both brought up about having, like in the past, we had stories. I think that still can happen. It just depends on who you choose to allow come into your life.
Yeah.
That's all. So I wouldn't say that's an old school thing and it will never happen. I think it's just where you are and how you meet someone. Yeah.
Because you have access to meeting people from anywhere, honestly.
You do. You do.
Yeah.
You do. And I know a couple people that have definitely met their spouse online and they are really doing great, or they, so it can work. It may not be for you. You have to do your background check. You got to know what you're getting into. But I have seen dating websites be okay. I'm old school and I want that connection. I'm a feeler, so I want to see what type of connection I get when I'm in your presence. Yeah.
But again, what's dope about it is the access.
You're right.
You typically dated who was around you.
Yeah.
Who do you had access to. Now, like you mentioned, you could be across the other side of the country, across the other side of the world, and meet somebody dope. So
yeah,
it's
absolutely,
y'all living in some good times.
Y'all are. Just depends on what you do with the time you're living in, because it's not a bad time. No.
It's what you make of it.
It's what you make of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Y'all, I think that's it for our topic on dating. We've been talking about just relationships in our love month. Continue to follow us on this journey. Don't forget, you can check us out every Monday. Where can they find us at, y'all?
Zamzo's, Home Depot, Walmart. Don't talk to Shell though if you say at Walmart. Spotify.
Podbean.
Apple Podcasts.
Yes. YouTube.
Okay.
And definitely follow us on our Facebook group, Walking Life's Journey. Because guess what we know? As you're walking this journey called life, you are key to it. So always know it and always believe it. Until next time, see ya.
See ya.
Peace.